Seguimos en Juego de Tronos. Estamos en el capítulo 2 con un nuevo personaje y vamos a la funeral de su padre.
Access to the castle is closed during the ceremony.
I'm actually here to attend Lord Sarwick's burial.
I'm afraid that's not possible. I'm under strict orders to only allow entry
Yo que
to close
soy
kin. With the villagers' current grumblings, we don't want to risk problems.
I am Lord Reynold Sarwick's eldest son, and I am here to attend my
Soy tu
father's
señor.
funeral.
His eldest son? Do you take me for a fool? I have been at my post for more than 5 years, and I have never once seen your face.
It has been more than 5 years since I left River Spring. Please call on Mr. Harwin. He knows of my
Este
arrival.
Harwin.
Well, we'll see about that, but I doubt he'll come here for you. The ceremony's about to start. John, go find Maester Harwin.
John.
What is going on here? Why has John gone for the Maester?
Ryman, it's me, Alistair.
Several hells! Alistair?
Hello.
Graydon, I told you only family. That excludes peasants, dogs and cravens who abandon their families.
Enough, Ryman. However long I was absent, this house is still mine.
How dare you! You disappeared without so much as a goodbye years ago, and now you return as if nothing happened.
Poco
The
viejo
reasons for my
borracho
exile are
alcohólico.
mine alone. I owe you no explanation.
I care about your reasons? It's your fault that Lord Sarwick is
What?
dead.
You've lost your head, cousin.
Your departure destroyed him. He was never the same again.
Your judgment is clouded, Ryman. I can smell the ale on
La
your breath from
cerveza
here.
borrachuza.
What? Stand back! I'll make you eat your words, priest.
Batalla. Nos pegamos zambombazos rápidos, pero me está haciendo pupa, cabronías. Me va a tumbar, seguro. Pues no, se acabó el combate.
Enough. Do you not think we have enough
Harwin.
dead here?
Mr. Harwin?
Alistair, finally.
Gracias por tu
Prayed for your
regreso.
return.
This traitor no longer has his place here, Maester Harwin. He abandoned his castle and his family.
7 gods. Get a hold of yourself, Ryman. I wrote to him to invite him to Lord Sarwick's funeral.
I prefer to leave than to hear more of this.
Puto.
Alistair, what a relief it is to finally see you. I had help from my contacts in Bravos to inform you
Bravos.
of your father's death. The funeral will be in the Godswood. The ceremony has already
Oh,
begun.
Why is it not held at the Sept?
It would be if it were not in ruins. River Spring is suffering on all fronts, I
Pobreza
fear.
everywhere.
Let us go now. Come with me, Alistair. Let us speak as we walk.
What happened here, Maester? How could my father allow things to get to this point?
You know, after you left, Lord Reynold changed.
Cambió.
He began to live more and more in the past and stopped taking care
Se
of his
volvió loco
duties.
porque lo abandonamos.
Your
Genial.
sister quickly found herself managing more than she should have.
Eliana helped my father govern?
Well, these last few months, she's practically run the house herself. In spite of her efforts, she was unable to slow the inevitable ruin of
reina.
her lands
Oh,
without a
pobre.
lord. But all is not so dark. Many of your father's vassals remain faithful to their oath. They have all come to the burial in order to
Sí, a
honor
luchar
his
por
memory.
ser el nuevo
We
señor,
will speak
seguramente.
of all this again after the ceremony. Let us make haste, I beg of you.
Hagas lo que hagas, asegúrate de tener las manos limpias. ¡Ja! Después de hacerlo, claro. Mega. Esta igual es nuestra hermana. Sí.
Hello, Red Priest. I am Lady Eliana Sarwick, daughter of the late Lord Sarwick. You are just in time for the ceremony. Were you close to my father?
You have changed much in 15 years, little sister.
Alistair, why have you returned? We don't need you here.
Harwin told me of Father's death. It was my duty to come.
15 years without any news. And he had to die for us to see you
Hombre, en
again.
verdad es un
You
poco
would have done
ñe,
better
sí.
to stay where you were.
I do not doubt that my departure was difficult for you.
Difficult? To say the least. Your disappearance was our father's ruin. Do you know how long I cried after you left? And how long I hoped for news of you?
Lo
I am
siento.
sorry. I left Westeros without once turning back, it's true. I understand your reaction. It must have been unbearable for you. But I had to leave. Know that I never forgot you.
That's easy for you to say. And you should know that we here learn to live very well without you.
Zarpazo.
I understand your reaction, Eliana.
I doubt it. Go pay your last respects to father. We will speak later.
Who will speak
Mere
later?
stranger, the eternal outcast, now guide you to the Father. And
No hay
may
nadie
he
para
judge you
hablar.
fairly and deliver
You
you
should
from the
follow
torments
his
of the
example.
7 hells.
Armadura más chula, tío.
Who is that man? I believe that is the elder Sarwick, the one who disappeared. He has certainly changed.
O ya
but
están
I
planeando
recognize.
matarme. ¿Quién es ese? Es calvo, es malo, seguro. Ahí va. Comiéndole la boca que me estás contando. Lo va a revivir seguramente. Sí, los sacerdotes rojos saben hacer cosas así. Bueno, no sé si la ha revivido, yo qué sé. El maestro se va también.
How could you desecrate our father's body that way?
I desecrated nothing. I performed the final kiss, the tribute that priests of Relor pay to the
O
dead.
sea,
You may be a red priest,
Le dan
but you should
tributo
respect
comiéndole
the
la
beliefs
boca,
of
muy bien.
Riverspring.
I did not intend to be disrespectful, little sister.
Do not think that it is easy for me to speak with you after all this time.
Please, Eliana, listen. I left Westeros without a goodbye, and you have every reason to be angry with me.
no seas así, hermanita.
15 years ago, the war that King Robert Baratheon fought to claim the throne forced me to commit deeds which haunt me still. The very idea of returning to you was too painful. I did the only thing left for me to do. I left and began a new life elsewhere. Not long ago, I received a letter from Maester Harwin telling of Father's death. I could no longer hide myself. It was time to confront my past. What I regret the most, Eliana, is that by fleeing to the other side of the waters, it
Claro.
was you whom I wounded.
All these years, I have thrown a veil over your memory.
Un tupido,
But you
¿verdad?
return at the moment when everything is in turmoil. I must be alone for the moment. I will see you later, Alistair.
Vale.
Take your time, little sister. I
Ahora me
understand.
atacarán o algo, seguro.
Alistair, Maester Harwin would like to speak with you. He
Ravela.
awaits you in the castle courtyard. And if I may add, you should be ashamed of that kiss during the ceremony.
My thanks, Ravella. I shall go and see.
Gracias.
I am not sure there is more to discuss between us, Alistair. I am sincerely sorry for your loss. You know
Sí,
how
seguro
much
que
your
en
father
sus
meant
buenos
to
días
me.
te echaba algún coto
Unless you are
caribeño.
truly ready to listen to me, it would be best that you leave.
As you wish.
What? Patio del castillo. A ver qué pasa ahora. Ahí está el maestre. Who are you? Mayordomo de aguas fuertes. No le puedo vender nada. Pues vamos a hablar con el maestre. Hola, maestre Harwin.
Ah, Alistair. There you
Tienes
are.
pociones que brillan.
Please leave us. So, you're not too unsettled by the situation here?
What I saw of the town upon my arrival was enough. It is a disaster. People cannot go on like this. I have heard tell that neighboring lords have taken our people's lands.
Correcto.
Indeed. The poverty has worsened over the years. When neighboring lords became aware of your father's situation,
Yo lo haría
they took
también,
advantage of the
la verdad.
opportunity.
But they have no right to do so. Our lieges, the Lannisters,
Los
should have been
Lannister.
notified.
Indeed. But our relations with them have suffered since your father held Tywin Lannister responsible for your departure.
Lannister.
It was after his death that your sister decided to reopen talks by going to see the most influential member
Como
of
salga
their
aquí Tyrion o
family.
algo me...
That is why
me
she
quedo roto.
requested an audience with Queen Cersei Lannister at the Red Keep. It was made very clear our lieges will act once our land has a new master. So your sister worked towards this end. River Spring has belonged to House Sarwick for generations. Ilyana has refused to marry a lord from any other house. So, the Queen has chosen a man for your sister.
Who is it?
Valar, your father's bastard son,
Hermanastro, what?
your half-brother.
Valar. I left Westeros hoping never to hear that name again. It is out of the question for my sister to marry him. He shares our blood. How can the Queen condone a marriage which
Porque
goes
ella se
against
zumba
nature?
Jaime
You
Lannister.
realize that if Ilyana were to wed another lord, she would take her husband's name. Being a bastard, Valar has no family name. It was the only solution to keep River Spring for House Sarwick.
Why choose Valar for a suitor? What
¿No
does
se
the
supone que
Queen
tiene un
want?
hermano
From
también?
what I heard while accompanying your sister to King's Landing for her audience at court, Valar distinguished himself through his exploits. I know that the Queen enjoys surrounding herself with strong, devoted men. That is the case for Valar. By giving him this gift, she ensures his loyalty and increases her power.
But Valar was just a squire when he went off to war with me. It would take more than that to be a suitor worthy of our name.
Seeing him return alone from the war, your father blamed him for your disappearance. No matter how much Valar claimed to work for the prosperity of House Sarwick, your father wouldn't hear any of it. He cursed him and chased him away from River Spring for good. Your half-brother was mad with rage and left seeking vengeance. Apparently, he spent several years at the Citadel, using education to compensate for his low birth.
A maester cannot become a lord.
He never became maester, but stopped at the rank of acolyte. He learned the art of war, studied the higher mysteries, and forged links. He was then thrown out of the Citadel several years later for studying the forbidden arts. He's been a sellsword ever since. His reputation spread quickly, and royal ears heard of him. In 2 years, he went from simple soldier to the Queen's Guard. He moves in the shadows. The nobles of the court fear him.
Valar, he has taken too much from me already. I cannot just stand by while he marries my sister.
There is something else of which we should speak. I would have liked to spare you this. I do not believe that your father's death was an accident. There are certain indications that lead me to believe that he was poisoned.
Are you sure?
Believe me, Alistair, I know this subject. The strangler is a difficult poison to detect, but it leaves certain traces that cannot be caused by anything else.
Did Father have any ongoing conflicts which could have prompted someone to murder him?
I am not certain, but there are rumors of a possible culprit.
Tell me who it is.
This may overwhelm you, but the rumors say that it is your younger brother, Gawain.
Gawain? He was but a child when I left.
He and Lord Reynold had some serious quarrels, and he disappeared on the very night of your father's death. We've had no news of him since.
Why? Why would he have done such a thing?
Maester Harwin,
What?
the
What?
people are rebelling. Rioting has broken out throughout
What?
the town.
With all of this festering discontent, it
Oh,
was
well,
only
well,
a matter of time before this happened.
Why would the people rise up with such violence?
Well, the lords left the castle after the burial with their
Los
fine
ricos
clothes and
ropajes.
all, whereas the villagers are starving. All of this flaunted wealth must have pushed them too far. Everything quickly erupted. They attacked the lords, taking them hostage.
How did things get this far out of hand?
One man used this opportunity to unite the mob against us.
I think I know who leads them. I crossed paths with a certain
Ahí,
Tyrek
Nick.
when arriving. A rabble-rouser,
¿Y cuándo has
telling people to
aprendido
take
tú
up arms.
el nombre del tío?
Tyrek. I heard some guards say that he was getting people worked up in a marketplace.
Then that is where we must go.
Captain Ryman says that it's impossible. Our men are barely managing to keep them at bay at the castle doors. There are not enough of us to attempt an escape.
Where is Captain Ryman?
He is at the doors. He's the one that ordered the barricades.
Barricadas? What?
7 hells! If Ryman deals with it, the revolt will end in flames and bloodshed.
Riverspring has already suffered too much. I must join Ryman.
Sí.
Riverspring needs me. I will not watch our land fall into ruins without acting.
Very well, but I beg you to be careful. You are a Sarwick. Act as a liege, Lord
Los
Alistair,
actos tendrán
and know that your
consecuencias.
acts will have consequences.
I will do what must be done.
I am sure you will.
¿Me acompañará alguien? No. Estupendo. Guardias everywhere y ninguno viene conmigo. Estupendo. Estupendo. Armadura pesada y sensible a los daños cotidianos. What? ¿Esto que es un consejo o qué cojones? ¿Qué cojones?
Can't get close. Well, well,
No,
look
¿qué
who's
pasa,
here.
primo tonto?
Dear Alistair, what have you come for, my good cousin?
I hope you're thinking more clearly than you were earlier.
I have no lessons to learn from a coward.
Let's not start that again. Ryman, I did not come here to fight with you. What can you tell me of the situation here?
We've almost regained control of the southern part of town. My soldiers are about to clean it out. But in the marketplace there are still skirmishes between rioters and people loyal to our
Los
cause.
leales.
Nobles who came for the ceremony are still being held hostage by rebels on the docks in the northern part of town.
Very well. Let's go, Ryman. I want to see this for myself.
Really? His lordship would like to see this for himself? Well then, I'd be happy to accompany you to see
Oh,
this.
déjame.
I cannot wait to see you reason with this gang of peasants. I hope that blade at your belt is not just for decoration. Here, take my flask. You might need it.
Puede ser, sí. Ayman se ha unido al grupo. Ah, vale, ya. Aceite inflamable. Arr. Arr, arr, arr. Ujú. Vale. Y no. Página de personaje. Arma en llamas. Curación regenerativa. Pues me la quedo. Vamos a ver qué hay por aquí. Guardias, ¿qué ocurre aquí? Los van a ejecutar.
Ah, there you are, Captain. We were about to execute these men. They must learn who's
El
in
emblema
charge
es una
here.
espada rota, que bien.
These people must have committed serious crimes if they are to be executed.
They were amongst the rioters. They must be guilty of something.
If you execute people without reason, the situation will only grow worse. Allow me some
Interrogar,
time to question.
sí.
What shall we do, Captain?
These vermin don't deserve such kind treatment. But fine. Let's see what my cousin is made of.
De lo que está hecho mi primo. Vamos a hablar con Alin.
Tell us why you're here, friend.
They started it. We just came to ask for something to eat.
Shut your mouth, scum! You killed one of our men in the port, and you will pay for that!
This guard claims to have seen you at the port storehouse.
A ver si es
I
verdad.
was there with the others to demand food, my lord. But I'd already left when that guard got an axe through the head.
What is this man being accused of?
My lord, this man was seen in the port, where the rioting broke out.
And you suspect that he is responsible for this unrest?
One of our guards was killed in front of the storehouse. Someone must pay for that.
¿Qué hago? A matarlo. Uf.
Let him go.
Very well.
Pequeño Leo. Ah, tengo que interrogarlos a todos.
This man was found near the dying body of one of our men. Look at him. He's pissed himself.
Se me ha dado encima.
What were you doing near this guard's body?
I beg of you, my lord. I am innocent.
Sí, pero seguro que quería robar.
That is not what I asked. Why were you close to the body?
I am innocent. I did nothing. I killed no one.
This man apparently killed a guard.
Everything leads us to believe it, my lord. We found him carrying an enormous knife.
Did you find him with the blade in his hand?
No, we found it in his pouch, but the blade was caked with dried blood.
What were you doing carrying a knife?
Well, because I'm an apprentice to the butcher in the marketplace, my lord. I use the blade in my work, nothing more.
Dried blood, you say? The blood would still be sticky and fresh
pillado.
if it belonged to our man. Let this man go immediately.
Very well, my lord.
Very well, malo. Brusco.
You're finally to die.
Montón de mierda.
Shit.
I've nothing to do with all this. My lot kept out of it from the start.
I don't give a damn. You've been a pain in
What?
our asses for far too long.
What were you doing during the rioting?
I live in the inn overlooking the port with some friends. We haven't set foot outside since the revolt started. A group of armed guards arrived and dragged me off in the middle of a game of cards. So, that is River Spring justice, huh? Quick
Todavía no se ha
executions
ejecutado a
without reason.
nadie.
For what crime do you wish to punish this man?
He belongs to an organized gang currently ruling over the port.
They hold the merchants to ransom. They all pay with coin
amigo.
or their lives.
Pues a
We
las
have
mazmorras.
good relations with the merchants on the port. They appreciate our protection.
Protection? Don't make me laugh. We finally have the chance to get our hands on him. River Spring will be better off without him.
Send him to the dungeons. The situation in town is too dire to let him roam freely.
Our
Jódete.
friend already knows the way.
You're making a grave error, my lord.
Sí, sí. My lord. Venga, aquí vamos a dejar por ahora. Guardar, sobreescribir. Y listo. Nos vemos en el siguiente vídeo. Hasta luego. Ay, ay.